Hello and welcome to this midday taste challenge. Yeah, it's one of those double up days, people. And let's see, how many more double ups do we have scheduled for this year, 2019? At this particular time. Well, this week, today, then one, two more. Let's see, it's 2, 4, 6. Would be a problem that week. 6, 8. 8. So that's 16. 16 taste challenges that'll be held on double up days. Oh well. What in the world? Why would a man get out of a car with a bucket? Okay. So we have today from not 2003, 1903, the year 1903. 19 odd 3. Yeah, I know. I got enough left for what? One more taste challenge? Maybe 2. We're going to find out very shortly. Kentucky Tavern. 80 proof, age 3 long years. James Thompson was the founder of Glenmore Distillery in Owensboro, Kentucky. They started the Kentucky Tavern in 1903. Bourbon, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Well, guess what? Doesn't say sour mash, but it was acquired by Sazerac. Glenmore Distillery was purchased by Sazerac. They got this square, long bottle. 1903. You say, well, aren't you going to finish your Curabari Marsala? 18%. Yeah, later on. Let it go. Let it go. Okay. So Kentucky Tavern. I've actually never been to a Kentucky Tavern, but I have been to Kentucky many times. And I've toured distilleries twice. Like, hey, I am going to get 2 taste challenges out of it. One more left. $10.99 a liter. You heard me right. $10.99 a liter. 3 years, you say 3 years. That must be the minimum. No, actually, it's 2 years to be a straight Kentucky bourbon whiskey. So it's a whole year longer than it's required to be. Now we have from 1996, 23 long years ago. Labro and Graham's Woodford Reserve Distillers Select. Woodford Reserve, 90.4 proof. Whoa, whoa. Aged, they don't say how long. Made with copper pot stills. Copper pot stills. And blended with column stilled Kentucky straight whiskey. But we're not supposed to talk about that. This is a Brown-Forman brand. Golly, hey, the barrels that are used for this exceptional handcrafted bourbon have been specially selected by our master distiller. Ooh, make you dizzy looking at this thing. All right. I'm glad to hear that. I'm not making fun of this because you know why? I tried it and I loved it. And thank you, Sonia, for this. She said, I'm not going to drink it. So you can have it. And you know me, I'm not going to say no. I know you tried to call me earlier, Sonia. I tried to call you back. All right, let's see. Beautiful copper cladded top. Whoa, fancy. I think the Woodford Reserve is like $24 a bottle, and I think the Kentucky Tavern is $10.99 for a liter. So let's see. $10.90. I think I'm being a little too persnickety with this. I'm trying to say, yeah, I'm gonna get 2 taste challenges out of it, but I don't know if it's working out so well. That's just too little. That's just not enough. Now this last little glob or amount, is that enough for a taste challenge? I don't know. I'm thinking it's not. And you know what? If I do a taste challenge with the Virginia Black and it's not enough, I'll just dump it out, delete the video, and say, psh, like they say in the comic books, pshaw. Like, you know how people never say that. All right. I think they're trying to write like psh, out, write it out, but you can't really spell. Psh. All right. Okay. Oh no, the appearance is nothing like the other. This one in my right hand could be to your left. Is, let me take my glasses off. I need these glasses to see far away, but up close, they blind me. I don't need these glasses for up close vision. It's amber. This one is gold. This is amber. This is gold. This is copper. This is gold. This is darker. This is lighter. This is aged at least 4 years. This is aged 3 years because it say on the bottle. All right. Which one's going to be better? Well, you would assume that the Woodford Reserve at over twice the price would be better, right? Better. But will it be? Oh, the sun's coming out and the warmth is coming in. Finally, I can take this long sleeve off. It's gonna, could it really get up to 80 degrees today? Could it? Would it? Should it? It should. I hope. I want it to. So Kentucky Tavern. It's a value price brand. Now the background people are saying, you mean cheap? You mean to say cheap? Okay. It's cheap. It's inexpensive. It's cheap. It has, from what I could read on those old advertisements in the 1940s and 50s, it was always a value price product. But yet still they say it's the greatest production of the master's art. They always say that, you know, it's just a fabulous product. Even the camo black ice, camo quadruple X. This fine beer is made with expertise and devotion, or whatever they say. And I'm thinking, yeah, for what purpose? To kill people? Okay. And Woodford Reserve is just so wonderful according to their website. It's just the greatest thing. And that's the base model. That's the base model Woodford Reserve. Do they have much more expensive, longer aged and complex bourbons? Yes, they do. Have I ever purchased any? No, I have not. I didn't even purchase this beautiful bottle. It was given to me, like I told you earlier in the video, by Sign You Think You Sign You once again. Okay. I'm going to try to calm down. I don't really think it's going to be too much of a challenge, but in all dishonesty, I did think the Kentucky Tavern had a lot going for it, as cheap as it was, and I've given it strong reviews, strong scores. That's the Woodford Reserve. That's how fast you can guess. I'm telling you right now, that's Woodford Reserve. There's no doubt. It's so woody. Charred white oak. There ain't no way that's Kentucky Tavern. Do I like Kentucky Tavern? I already mentioned that I did. I like it. Would I buy it again? In theory, I would. In practicality, I won't, because I've got 2,000 other brands to get through. But, you know, theoretically, I would buy it, yes. And I would recommend it. Okay. That's Woodford Reserve. I'll smell this one just for the pure perfunctory reasons of smelling it, but I know what it is already. All right. Smells good, though. It's sweet. It's woody. There's dried fruit. There's dried flowers. There's all the wonderful things you get with a good Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. It screams Buffalo Trace. It's made at Buffalo Trace. It smells like a Buffalo Trace whiskey. It's going to taste like a Buffalo Trace whiskey. Senator, I work with Buffalo Trace. I knew Buffalo Trace. You're no Buffalo Trace, but this is a Buffalo Trace. So now $12 versus 24. Are you going to sit there and tell me that Woodford Reserve is twice as good? It's possible, but I don't see that happening. I really do not see that happening. So could a value price brand really be a value relative to a mid-priced premium whiskey? Yes. Although this is very rich in the nose. Okay, I'm going to say Woodford Reserve. I'm going to guess on smell only. Yep, WR, which is Woodford Reserve. It's too obvious. I mean, come on now. Does Kentucky Tavern have a place in the world, in the budget world? Yes, it does. And this is a nice glass bottle, and it was done on the 104th day of 2016 in Kentucky, 21 hours and 54 minutes. I do like it. I would recommend it. Like I said, it's a great value. And Woodford Reserve has many, 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 many fans. And would I like to visit their distillery? Oh, you know I would. Now the question is, since we know what it is already, this is twice in a row now I've done whiskey reviews. This morning, I did the Canadian Club 12-year versus Caliber. Caliber's fine. It's nice. It does the trick. It is a credible product, believe it or not, which actually I didn't believe it would be. But it's no Canadian Club 12-year. This one is Kentucky Tavern is very nice. I respect it. I admire it. I'm not in love with it. I'm not like, you know, trying to marry its daughter. But I do like it. But on the other hand, it cannot measure up to Woodford Reserve. But now the question is Woodford Reserve twice as good? Without further ado, let's try it out. On aroma, no. On aroma, I wouldn't say it's twice as smelly nice. Oh, I mean to say aromatic. Aromatically positive. Beneficially aromatic. That can will never stay straight, because every time a train comes down the track, even though it's far away, it shakes the ground and that can gets cockeyed. It's better, but it ain't twice as better. Maybe it's, I don't know the number. All right, let's go with the taste. Doggone it. John and Neely says, good afternoon, Ron. I love Woodford Reserve. I'm glad you were able to get a bottle. Examination, anyone? Let me see. What? Okay. The bottle just said, do an examination with John and Neely. Okay. If y'all insist, I'll do it. Not that you had to prod me much, because I would have done it anyway, even if the bottle hadn't talked to me. Let's go with the taste challenge, shall we not? All kidding aside and frivolity aside and jocular humor aside, and some people are rolling their eyes and saying, humor, huh? Yeah, but this is very woody, and it's vanilla. I was thinking about that earlier. The real calling cards on this is wood and vanilla. Yeah, it's got dried flowers underneath. Yeah, it's got dried fruit, candied fruit cake fruit, and it has corn, lots of corn. But the first two exponents, sine and cosine, the first two exponents are the wood and the vanilla. Now let's go over to Kentucky Tavern, shall we not? There's wood. And generally, oh, I'm reading it wrong. Jeff Knapp says, I'm generally a Woodford Reserve fan too. Got a bottle of the double oaked I've been savoring. Oh yes. I would like to get the double oak, but call me in 10 years because my back stock is very bad. And it just does not get better because I cannot, wrong choice of words, I will not stop buying. I could stop, but I just choose not to. Oh, well. All right, so there's char, it's not as heavy. There's wood, it's not as pronounced. There's some underlying vanilla, it's not vanilla forward. Does Buffalo Trace, so that's the right company, does Buffalo Trace make a very good, credible 10.99 liter bottle of Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey aged 3 years? You best to believe they do. It's lovely. I don't know if it can beat Old Crow, that sour mash. Old Crow might, you know, hey, I don't even remember how it panned out when I did the video review. That was so long ago. I remember liking both. It's fine. It's a winner. You should not hesitate to buy it. Don't hesitate. If you see it for $10.99, buy it. Tout sweet, as the French would say en français. Bienvenue en Louisiane. Okay. Mes amis. But this Woodford Reserve has such a profound woody charcoal flavor. You can't get around it. It's just, woo, it is on point. On point. You say, yeah, but you still said $11 and you said $24. 11, 24. That's $13 difference. Yeah, that's a good. I always found that Woodford Reserve has a nice wood presence and a Granny Smith apple note. Apple. I'd have to think about the apple. I did notice a lot of vanilla though. So what's the downside of Woodford Reserve? Actually, there is no downside. Like literally, this bourbon has no downside. So yeah, I am saying that. It is exceptionally awesome and great, and it has no negatives. You say, well, I have a whiskey snob friend, and he tears it apart. He hates Woodford Reserve. He spits on it. He even finds Pappy Van Winkle has many deficits. I'm sure you have a friend like that, but I'm not that friend, and I'm not like that, and that ain't my gig. I think it's awesome, and I'm unanimous in that. All right. I know what you're saying. You are too droll. You're so droll. You're not droll. I'm so right wing. I'm left wing. You're so sane. You're insane. Now this Kentucky Tavern have deficits. Well, yeah, because, you know, it doesn't really have enough wood quality. It doesn't really have enough char. It doesn't really have enough profound flavor. It doesn't really have a depth of flavor. A lot of the flavors are peripheral. No, it's not a blended bourbon whiskey. It's just, and this could appeal to many people. You have to consider that. Some people don't like everything bold, bold, bold. Captain America throws his mighty shield. A lot of people like mild, mellow, quiet. Okay. Everybody does not want bombastic. So if you want mild, mellow, low profile, I think Kentucky Tavern would really work. And hell, I mean, excuse my language. I'm like Tucker Carlson. Sometimes I go too far, but I'll be the first to admit it. You could pay a whole lot more and get Jack Daniel's Gentleman Jack, but why would you want to do that when you can get this for $10.99? Hey, Ron and John, says Ronnie S. Hey, Ronnie, says Johnny. John. Ronnie says, I just finished your Friends with Russia video, Ron. Really great stuff. Keep up the good fight, man. Thank you. I'm going to keep fighting for peace. Peace. Now, you might say, you're not making friends in the world. People do not like all that anti-war, pro-peace stuff. You are a troublemaker. I'm totally willing to sacrifice popularity if it promotes anti-war viewpoints. And I'm extremely comfortable with that. I'd rather be unpopular and anti-war than popular and pro-war. You get me? You dig? Okay, now, so, okay, the final question, is it twice as good? Oh, well. Is it twice as good? I think it's probably twice as good. You say, no, you've turned your back on the value price people. I'm sorry, it's just, it tastes like it's double your pleasure and double your fun. I didn't want it to be twice as good. I wanted Kentucky Tavern to win for all the value price people. But I don't like to get on the internet and lie too much. So, okay. Woodford Reserve does win outright. Value does not play a part in this. Price doesn't really matter here. It really is worth paying the money and getting the better product. So, the person who gave this to me, Sonia, she would have never dreamed of buying Kentucky Tavern to make a mint julep during racing season. Because every year for the Kentucky Derby, she would buy a Woodford Reserve or a Blanton's. That's $60 a bottle. If you're lucky, you get it for $56 on sale. And make mint juleps and watch the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness and all that. No, she was not going to buy a Kentucky Tavern and make a mint julep with it. That was, now I would, because I have you hate to use the term lower standards. Let's say I'm more open-minded toward value price items than other people on a cake. Okay, that sounds bad. I'm more open-minded to value price items. See how you can spin things? Okay, so, but honestly, all kidding aside, and I'm not actually really kidding, but Woodford Reserve is twice as good. So it's a winner because it's better. But then the price point, you know, bears that out. So it's up to you. It really is up to you. If you pay $10.99 for this liter of Kentucky Tavern, are you getting ripped off? Is it a fail? No. You're getting your money's worth, and you'll enjoy it. And it is a liter as opposed to $7.50. So that is something to consider. Now, when you take that into account, now if you only do the size of the bottle, then yeah, I guess you could say Kentucky Tavern wins just from utilitarian purposes. Now, in a quality sense, the Woodford Reserve is the clear winner, clear winner, clear winner, clear winner. I'm curious to see how it's going to stack up against Jack Daniels, the ever popular, world famous, legendary JD. No, not the 90 proof of the 80s. Nah, not the 86 proof of the 90s. Yeah, the 80 proof thing we get today. Do I hate it? No, I don't hate it. Do I drink a lot of it? No, I don't drink it at all. I just bought it for taste challenges. I'm thinking Woodford Reserve is like $2 more per bottle, but I still think it's going to win. It's got that extra proof, and that extra proof makes a difference. David Garland-Peter's right. He's right. He's right. And then we're going to go against Jack Daniel's Green Label, which that's a fire starter because you got your JD Green Label people that will go to bat. They'll go to war for Jack Daniel's Green Label. When you start talking crap, you know, they'll say, hey, whoa, whoa, hold on, mother father, because I like Green Label. So got to take a break from the antagonism with that. And then we're going to have Old Forester. Now, that'll be a real challenge. You know, Old Forester, 94 proof. Now it's getting serious. Yeah, I was saving it for last. Old Forester against Woodford Reserve. Now, you might have met your match, Woodford Reserve with Old Forester. That's no joke. Like David Bowie said, it's no game. And then we'll close out with Old Crow. Well, I mean, you know, Old Crow. Actually, I like Old Crow, but it's not a Woodford Reserve. You know what I mean? Okay. And then get ready, because we're going to do the very controversial Virginia Black. And that's sure to win few friends, but make many enemies. Oh, Oshkosh bagosh.